You can help stop the war. Write a letter to your congressman. Tell him to get us out of Vietnam by December 31st, 1971.
We bomb the villages and destroy them. We bomb the crops and destroy them. We, you and I, drop bombs brilliantly designed to kill farming people because we have a strategy. The strategy is to terrorize the rural population and cause them to flee into the cities, and thus create great unrest, and thus keep our pressure on Indochina. And we've been doing it all along, long before we hit Hanoi and Haiphong. And isn't it interesting that we can do this now with little risk to ourselves, without ground troops, and merely destroy people and their farms and homes through automation? There's some of us who call this immoral, and some who call it genocide. But still it goes on. What can you do about it? Well, this is still a democracy, isn't it?
On final for bullet delivery. You show delivery. Bingo. Very good. We have Bronco 3, we have
They keep finding new ways to end the war, yet somehow the killing goes on.
Where does your tax dollar go? 17% of the pie goes for human resources, such as social welfare, housing, labor, community development. Another piece goes for education, transportation, space, agriculture, and other costs of government. Where does the rest of the pie go? To the military to pay for war. Past wars, the present war, preparation for future wars. Nearly 2/3 of your tax dollar is blown on war. Isn't it time we stopped this tragic waste and saved a bigger piece of the pie for the things the country really needs? An end to the war is still up in the air. This election year, work to really end it.
Let's go, Lisa. Charlie Sutton is the foreman of a packing plant in Wilkesville, Ohio. Belongs to the All-City Bowling League. Likes to walk his dog on Sunday morning when almost everyone else is still asleep. He contributes regularly to the United Crusade, Salvation Army, and the 7th Street Congregational Church. He also contributes regularly to the new war in Southeast Asia, the air war. Come on.
Morning.
Good morning.
Coffee?
No sugar, no. Just last week, Charlie helped pay for the bombing of about 7 villages. About 200 farms, about 3,000 men, women, and children. What can he do about it? Well, this is still a democracy, isn't it?
I am war. Help me kill. All you have to do is do nothing. Don't protest. Don't write your congressman. In fact, you can do me a favor. Don't even think about me. I am war. Help me kill.
Someday you're going to learn the truth about the American bombing of Vietnam. Someday you're going to learn the truth about how many men, women, and children our bombs have killed and wounded. Someday you're going to learn the truth about how many men, women, and children our bombs have made homeless. Someday you're going to learn the truth about what's going on right now. You know what you're going to say? What could I do about it? When I was a kid, I used to be really proud of this country. I don't mean I choked up whenever I saw the flag or anything like that, but I thought those words on the base of the Statue of Liberty, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," meant that this country really cared about people, no matter who they were, where they came from. But now when I see my country engaged in an endless war, a push-button war in which American pilots and electronic technicians are killing thousands of Asians without even getting their hands dirty, without even seeing who they kill. When I see us each week stepping up the tonnage of bombs we drop on Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, then I don't feel so proud anymore, because I thought that's what the bad countries did, not my country. What can you do about it? Well, this is still a democracy, isn't it?
Our government spends $2.5 million an hour, 24 hours a day, on a war in Vietnam. That's enough money to give this kid and 8 million others like him a $2,400 a year college scholarship instead of a dead-end job. What's more important, the war or his future? It's your money. Write your congressmen and senators in care of Washington, D.C., and tell them how you want it spent.
The Vietnam War has lasted longer now than any other war in the history of this country. It has succeeded only in tearing apart the fabric of our society. It's turned families against families. It's driven thousands into exile and thousands more into despair. It has helped us to write the saddest chapter in the history of the United States. As one who fought in Vietnam and who has seen firsthand the emptiness of our policy, I want you to consider, how do you ask a man to be the last to die in Vietnam? How do you ask a man to be the last to die for a mistake? 73% of the American people say they want us out of Vietnam by the end of this year. Please, make yourself heard. Write your senators and congressmen and ask them to vote for legislation to end this war now.
Our ground war is ending. Our troops are coming home. However, there's one thing we're leaving behind, an air war that has brought us to the brink of World War III. We not only bomb North Vietnam cities and harbors, we also drop over 50,000 tons of bombs a month on Southeast Asia. More than 2.5 Hiroshimas every month. It seems our government's peace plan is a bomb.
When they divide up the pie in Washington, do you ever wonder who gets the biggest slice?
Now for the chip.
Most of your taxes go to pay for wars, past, present, and future. What does your money buy? It buys you Vietnam, and with it, inflation, unemployment, disunity, and death. It buys you bombs instead of schools, defoliation instead of clean air and water, tanks instead of trains, and destroys homes instead of building them. Isn't it time we got out of their country and back into ours? Write your congressman. Tell him you need a bigger piece of the pie now.
Our Air Force has developed a new kind of bomb. It's called the mother bomb. Each mother bomb contains 640 baby bombs, which are full of hard steel pellets. The mother bombs release the baby bombs. The baby bombs explode, and scatter the pellets over an area the size of 10 football fields, with enough force to puncture the head or chest or stomach of a North Vietnamese soldier or a water buffalo or a baby. We're dropping thousands and thousands of these mother bombs on the people of Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. Let's hear it from motherhood and the flag.